So we've done the pine cone bird feeder. We've done the Swedish dishcloth. Next up, we're going to do an activity. We're going to make some cookie houses. Are you guys ready?
We are ready.
We are ready.
Wonderful. Let's get started.
I'm often asked why I use meringue powder instead of egg whites when I make my royal icing. And here's the reason why. Egg whites are more likely to carry salmonella. There are 4 classes of people who are more likely to get food poisoning. And those include the elderly, children younger than 5, pregnant women, and other people with weakened immune systems. And that can be due to diabetes, liver or kidney disease, autoimmune disorders, alcoholism, HIV/AIDS, people who are receiving chemotherapy, or otherwise can't fight germs. So that includes a lot of people. And there are a lot of people in my family and friend group who fall into one of those 4 categories. So I always use meringue powder. It's safer than using raw eggs. And if that means that some people say I'm not doing it the classic way, I really don't care. I'm being safe for the people that I love. And you can find this meringue powder in arts and crafts stores like Michael's or Joann's. You can also usually find it at Walmart in the cake decorating section. And you can find it online. And that's what I suggest you do. And you know what? We'll be using meringue powder in other recipes as I make more videos. So it'll be a good investment for you to get some. I really like baking. And I really like gingerbread houses. But I really don't care for baking gingerbread houses. And here's why. It can be a little bit tricky to get all of your things to bake up with straight sides. And it can be a little bit tricky for everything to fit together when you're doing the construction. And during the holidays, I'm looking for all sorts of ways to make things simpler. And the last thing that I want to do is get involved in a big, giant gingerbread house project when a time is at a premium for me. But I do like decorating gingerbread houses. I've got Christmas elf Ivy Clement working on this cookie house that we're building today. And I think Ivy Clement is doing an amazing job decorating this little house. She's attaching candy and cereal to the cookie house using royal icing and just generally schnazzing it up. If you're going to be working with children on this project, I suggest you make the cookie houses ahead of time so they have time to thoroughly dry and cure before the kids start decorating them. I also suggest that you use some royal icing to glue the house to a small paper plate. That'll add some stability to the whole project and it'll be easier to move once it's done. My last tip for you is to use the score marks on the graham crackers as well as the little holes in them as your measuring guide. You'll find that they give you plenty of guidance without you having to resort to a ruler. I've got a few tips for you when you're working on a graham cracker cookie house. One is to make the royal icing a little bit thicker than I did at the beginning of this video. Start off with a little bit less water, maybe 3 tablespoons, and work your way up from there. You're looking for a consistency about toothpaste, or maybe even a little bit thicker, whereas what I mixed up was closer to melted ice cream than toothpaste. Another hint or tip for you is that when you're cutting the crackers, let the knife do the work. Use a serrated knife and go back and forth, but don't put any pressure on it. You can see how one of the planks that I was cutting actually broke in the middle, which you can repair, as I showed there, with like a little patch, but you can avoid breakage if you just use the sawing back and forth motion without putting any pressure on it. The next tip is that you can also hide a little something inside the house that your guests or your children will find once they rip into the house and start eating it. And in this case, I found that ring pops fit in the middle really nicely. Another tip is that I found that the store brand graham crackers work better than the premium brands. So once I had all of these little houses built, the thought occurred to me that I could make a little village. And man, did I have fun doing this. I just changed up the design a little bit, made one a little bit shorter, made one that had 6 sides instead of 4. That one was a little tricky, but I had fun figuring it out. The time lapse makes this look like the village went together really quickly. From beginning to end, it took me about 2 hours. First to construct the buildings and then decorate them and adhere them to the cake carrier that I was using as the base. And here we go. Costruiamo. Let's build. It's cookie houses.
So what did you guys think about the cookie houses? What do you think?
It's magical. I love to see miniatures.
Wonderful. I'll see you guys in the next video.